Hey, this is Corey, the Yard Buddha, and today we are going to be restoring this teak table. It got a little bit of water damage here over the winter. Normally I like to keep these under some tarps, and I must have used some tarps with some holes in it, so you can kind of see all that kind of gray stained area. Normally if you keep this under a nice tarp, you don't have to do a whole lot of sanding and stuff. So this year we are going to be sanding this. I've got a couple different grits. I've got a 60 grit that we're going to be going over there first with, and then 150 grit just to kind of smooth stuff out. Yeah, it's my neighbor. Woo! Yard Buddha. And then we are going to be finishing it with this teak oil after we power wash it. So my 14-year-old son is going to help me out here today to just show you how easy it can be done. He has never done this before, so he's going to help me sand this and power wash it and stain it. Alright, so we got this whole top layer peeled off with 60 grit sandpaper, and now I'm going to go over it with some 150 grit just to kind of smooth out any rough surfaces. But I did learn on this teak wood that it's so dense that if you try to take off that gray area with kind of anything less than 100, it's going to take you a really long time, especially if you haven't done this for a few years. So now I'm just going to hit the top and the sides here lightly with 150, smooth it out, and then we'll power wash it. Alright, we're all done with the sanding, and we did the 60 grit and then just went over everything with the 150 grit, and you can kind of just feel the rough places where you needed to go over it well with the 150, but that really doesn't take that long. So we got the top and the sides all smoothed out. I don't really worry about the bottom too much. That I'm going to hit with the pressure washer and take off any dirt or other grime and stuff that has built up. But I like to do the power washing just to kind of get all of that sawdust out of there in those pores, and I think it's a lot more receptive for the oil. And I'll probably let these sit for a day and just dry out before I stain them. I'll probably hit it with the stain tomorrow, but normally I just power wash this and stain it, and that's what I'm going to be doing with all these 6 chairs, and then I have 2 chase lounges. So I'm just going to power wash those really well and then just stain those this year. But because that had a lot of gray on it, kind of wanted to resurface it, so let's do some power washing. Okay, it's finally stain day. We've had some really cold and wet weather over the last week, so this table has just kind of been sitting out here after I power washed it, but it's in the 50s and 60s here today. So with this oil, you don't want to really stain if it's below 50 or if it's above 90. Usually around 70 or so is the best time. Overcast is good because if it's direct sunlight, the oil kind of tends to dry too fast and get sticky. So our plan here is to go over this with one coat kind of lightly. We'll let that dry for a half hour, and then we'll take a cloth and wipe off any extra residue, and then we'll do another light coat and kind of repeat the same thing. So everybody is excited here. Dogs are excited. Are you excited, Gracie? Yep, they're excited. So let's get this staining going on. All right, the table has been stained. We did 2 coats and it did not rain on us. I was a little bit worried. We had some dark clouds. I brought out this tarp just in case, but ideally you want to do this if you're not going to have any rain for at least 2 or 3 days, which I think I'm going to get lucky, knock on wood. So I used probably a full quart of the teak oil. This is one of the cans, but I do have a lot of other furniture and stuff too, so I normally buy 2. So I did my 6 chairs and then my 2 lounge chairs as well, and that took me about 1 3/4 of those. But if you are doing a table like this and sanding the entire thing, I would probably buy 2 just in case, because it does suck up a lot of that oil. But it is good to go for another year, and if you want, you can even reapply a light coat, you know, maybe late summer or fall, and that will keep it even more in check. So definitely going to cover it with a brand new tarp this winter, and hopefully don't have to do this again. But if you guys have any brown wood that you kind of need reconditioned, this is how you do it. So thanks for watching. If you want to see some more, please subscribe. Bye.